Hey peeps! So I finally got to sing Lars Von Trier's Breaking the Waves from 1996. Yeah, I know, I'm still working on Von Trier's catalog. Don't remind me. I did watch Antichrist some years ago, and I really enjoyed it, but I haven't seen it in a while. So I have to see if that changes whenever I get the chance to revisit it. And I have Dancer in the Dark on my watch list. I tried looking for a Criterion copy of Dancer in the Dark at my local store, but I couldn't find it, so I just settled with Breaking the Waves for now. Lars is a very distinctive and unconventional director that is among the ones that challenge the filmmaking medium as a whole. I would say he definitely is one of the most not for everyone kind of directors. And as far as Antichrist is concerned, I can only imagine some of the audience members at Cannes Film Festival in 2009 were like, "What the fuck?" Because that's probably not the film that I would recommend for anyone who wants to start getting into his films. But Breaking the Waves definitely shows what makes him a standout. Now, I also want to add that I'm aware Lars Von Trier is a bit suspect and does or say some of the stupidest things that I've ever heard in my life.
I really wanted to be a Jew, and then I found out that I was really a Nazi. What can I say? I understand Hitler. Okay. No, I'm just saying that I think I understand the man. He's not what you would call a good guy, but
But like Woody Allen, I'm trying to separate the art from the artist, which can be considered a cop-out, but his films demonstrate that he's talented in the craft of filmmaking regardless. Emily Watson was nominated at the Academy Awards for Best Actress, and I kind of wish she won over Frances McDormand, because not only did she demonstrate and communicate this amazing and sympathetic character, but her Scottish accent was way too good. So good that if you were to watch this movie having no knowledge of who Emily Watson was, you would think that she was Scottish overall.
You still there? Of course I am, Bess. You know that.
I felt every emotion from this character and her journey that challenged her emotional fragility and naivety throughout the film. Stellan Skarsgård was also fantastic as the morally questionable husband of Watson's character. Without spoiling anything, the film challenges the viewer to observe his morals and his relationship with his wife, as he sort of puts her on a morally ambiguous and strange journey that leaves a lot of questions for the viewer to absorb, such as faith, love, spirituality, and commitment. And the characters and performances communicate these themes and ideas incredibly well. I also love the way this movie was shot and edited. Yes, I love the way this film was edited. Von Trier's editing choices are probably too weird for the average filmgoer to understand, as he'll usually cut mid-action between characters or their dialogue. It kind of gives the pacing in his scenes a kind of interesting and atypical flow that only he can make work. It kind of gives his scenes some sort of progression considering the context of what's happening in the moment. Look, I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but it's kind of difficult considering the kind of filmmaker that I'm talking about right now. And he does have shots that are wide and they look incredible, but the film mostly keeps the cinematography tightly focused on his characters, whether it be dialogue or action. Von Trier uses a lot of close-ups and shaky cam, as he has a certain degree of observation and intimacy that never feels jarring or distracting. So basically Lars Von Trier did it first before the Safdie brothers did. The film score is pretty rare, but the film breaks up into chapters, much like what Von Trier does with his other films. And it does support the pacing, and it has licensed music which kind of plays over the chapters, which I felt was kind of odd, but I did get used to it throughout, especially when they play David Bowie. I mean, I love me some David Bowie. The film was very well paced overall, and the chapter breaks do keep you invested in a certain chain of events throughout the story. If there is one setback, it involves a bunch of stupid kids that Trier apparently doesn't know how to direct. It was so funny. I mean, they were huddled without saying anything for no reason, and then they just start following the main character for a hilariously durative amount of time. It was kind of weird and stupid, but I thought it was pretty funny actually. And I also thought it was kind of silly that certain side characters would just poof appear at the exact convenience to move a certain plot point forward, but it was a rare occasion and it hardly hurt the experience. But overall, I definitely recommend this movie for anyone who's wondering how to get into Lars Von Trier's film catalog. And again, I admit I'm still working on his catalog myself. I haven't been trying to go out of my way to avoid his movies, it's just that he hasn't actually hit my radar yet. But I still love this movie, and I've been thinking about it for days after I've seen it, and I'm definitely gonna see it again. And Dancer in the Dark also. And I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, peace peeps, love y'all.